Alright YouTube, so today I want to talk to you guys about Watch Dogs versus Grand Theft Auto. Now that might seem kind of weird, but let me explain some shit. Now to some it might make sense to compare them because they are very similar games with, the ability to steal cars, open world city, you can fight and kill pedestrians, run from cops, and then there's of course a story to it. To other people, it may seem kind of weird to compare them because, for one, is an established series that's been around for a while, and Watch Dogs 2 is not an established series. There's only 2 so far. So, if you're on either side of that, I'm fine with it. It makes sense. Now, see, I actually got into the Watch Dogs series very recently. The later end of 2016, I purchased the first Watch Dogs. It was on that $20 rack at Walmart. You guys probably see it. A lot of good games eventually become $20 or less at Walmart. So I was like, you know what? I know what I'm getting into. It's an open world game with a city, and it's a Ubisoft game, so there's going to be plenty to do. So it's worth the $20. And then of course here recently I picked up Watch Dogs 2. I actually played like this free play weekend thing they had for Xbox. You got about three hours of gameplay or so. It was weird. Like I've never had a demo like that where it's actually like a time limit. Like you only have exactly 3 hours of gameplay. You do what you want with that 3 hours, but that's all you get. It's kind of weird, but I enjoyed it, so I eventually picked it up. I tried to finish the first Watch Dogs before I started playing Watch Dogs 2, but I eventually couldn't wait, so here we are with some Watch Dogs 2 gameplay. Now, as I was playing the first Watch Dogs, I started obviously noticing similarities with Grand Theft Auto and the series as a whole. We're really only going to be using the GTA 5 Grand Theft Auto game as a comparison because it's the most recent with the most, open world and things to do. So we're really just comparing it to Grand Theft Auto 5, but it's more the series in general. Anyways, you have the ability to steal cars, to, fuck up pedestrians, go on a murder spree if you choose, run from the cops, escape from the cops, all that shit. There's all these similarities with the Grand Theft Auto series, but I feel like the Watch Dogs series can be better. Now, if you actually dig into the worlds of Watch Dogs versus Grand Theft Auto 5, there's actually more, obviously, to do in GTA 5. It's almost meant to be like a Second Life experience. You have the ability to go with mini games. You can go play fucking golf, tennis, an older GTA, you can go bowling. You have all kinds of races you can do. You can just go take your car through a fucking car wash if you choose to do that. You can customize your cars and all that shit. I haven't dug that far into Watch Dogs 2, so I don't even know. You may have the ability to customize your cars and shit. I know they introduced like paint jobs and shit for weapons, which the first Watch Dogs didn't have, but it's something. At least they're working towards that. But with GTA 5, you obviously have a lot more activities to do, but we're not really focusing on that. It's more so like the baseline stuff that you can do from both of these series, and I think that Watch Dogs 2 offers more things. For starters, obviously you play as a hacker in both Watch Dogs games, and we're in kind of a future-esque version of each city. With the first Watch Dogs, it's Chicago. With Watch Dogs 2, it's San Francisco. But it's more of like kind of in the future where everything's connected to the internet. The entire city is, and you're hackers, so with your being such a top-tier hacker, in this city, you have control of everything. You can fuck with the freaking intersections, the lights. You can hack everybody. Literally every pedestrian's like cell phone with Watch Dogs 2. You couldn't do that with Watch Dogs, the first one, but with like Watch Dogs 2, I think every fucking pedestrian I've come across, I can hack their phone and either listen to their conversation or obviously steal their money or whatever you want to do. And the ability to hack all these different things around the city makes the city, to me at least, feel more alive. I mean, I'll really just drive around and I'll turn the intersection lights green just to make the pedestrians crash in on each other, just because it's fun to do. I like that. So in a lot of ways, it's kind of cool to have that control of the city. Obviously, you're running from the cops. You can throw up the blockers. You can blow up steam pipes in the ground. All kinds of stuff. You can actually hack like the helicopters when they're chasing you to make them like stop, like they can't chase you anymore because you override their system and all that crap. It's really cool. In a lot of ways, I like that more than just the GTA series. Not to mention whenever you're hacking these pedestrians and shit, like they all actually have a first and last name and like a quick little description like, committed some kind of criminal activity or something like that. Been in jail for a year. Like they give you some kind of, the fact that every pedestrian has a first and last name is fucking mind blowing to me. And I don't know if you can actually come across the same pedestrian, more than once, or if you see the same pedestrian model. I actually haven't paid attention to that. But if many of you know, if you play Grand Theft Auto at all, you see the same pedestrian model pretty fucking often. I can't, off the top of my head, I can't say that I have in Watch Dogs. Not that it doesn't happen. Something else that kind of bothered me with Grand Theft Auto versus Watch Dogs, where in Watch Dogs it makes sense, is that you know where the cops are. Like, once the cops are chasing you in GTA 5, you can see them like down the block ahead of you, about to turn the corner, so you can turn, down this alleyway and escape. and it doesn't make sense. Like, you're a low-level criminal, like, you're just some shitty, like, drug meth head when you're playing as Trevor and shit. Like, how do you possibly know that the cop is in front of you about to turn around the corner? With Watch Dogs, you're connected to the city, you're connected to the internet, you have access to all the cameras around the city, and all that shit, and it makes sense. Like, it makes sense that you know, like, you actually have the cops on the radar, even if the cops aren't chasing after you, you'll see, like, blue, like, icons on the radar to let you know that, you know, cops walking down the street or driving a car, and it makes sense that you know that that's there because you're a fucking hacker. You know that they're driving around the corner. It doesn't make sense in GTA. Like, how do you possibly even know that there's a cop there? Now, I know I always harp on, like, realism in games. I've done it with the Fallout series and had people argue with me about it. But that's what I happen to like. I like my games to be realistic in their own universe. With I'm not saying the concept of Watch Dogs is necessarily a realistic one. I don't know if we'll ever have this kind of advanced technology. But in this existence, it makes sense that you, again, know that the cops are there. Whereas Grand Theft Auto, it's pretty much modern day, and it's like, how do you just don't know that they're there. It just, I don't know. That's just me. And on the subject of police, you have the ability, okay, with Grand Theft Auto and Watch Dogs, when a pedestrian witnesses a crime, they will call the cops on you. With GTA, one of the small problems I have with GTA 5 is that you can't prevent that. Like, even if somebody's like, hey, I'm calling the cops, and you go up and, like, punch them or shoot them or whatever, the cops still come after you, they still attack you. With Watch Dogs, you actually have a window. They'll throw up like a triangle on the screen, and it fills up. Once it hits it fills up all the way, the cops will come after you. You can actually run up to that pedestrian and hit the melee button, and you'll grab their phone and kind of slam it on the ground, and that's gone. Now, somebody might witness you do that, and then they'll try to call the cops, and you kind of got to go through this like little mini game of like stopping each and every pedestrian. But I think it's fun and it's interesting. It's like, well, if I'm in a hurry on this mission or this whatever I'm doing, I can either prevent this pedestrian from doing this, or just take the police chase down the road from this and try to get away from the cops there. So I don't know. I like that. I like the ability to stop the pedestrians. I always thought it was kind of weird that you couldn't in Grand Theft Auto. You also kind of run from the cops and stuff in the similar manner that you do in GTA. They're actually a lot harder in Watch Dogs. I feel like once you get like the level 2 or 3, I don't know what they're called on here because they're called stars on Grand Theft Auto, but when you get to like the second or third tier of the police chase, the cops are pretty fucking aggressive, and it's hard to get away from them, honestly. So you're pretty much more so forced to use the city and your hacking skills. You can't just run from the cops as easy as you can in Grand Theft Auto. You definitely can. You can, like, turn down alleyways, and you can also hide in your car, which I think is cool, which you can't do in Grand Theft Auto. Just a small detail. If you can get away from the cops, park a car, and then hit B, you'll like turn the engine off, kind of lay back in your seat, and you can hide from the cops there. That's kind of interesting. You also have like the radius thing, kind of like Grand Theft Auto, where like you're in a certain radius, you got to get outside of that to run away from the cops to actually get away from them. So they're similar in a lot of ways, but you also have your hacking tools. You have like the ability to knock out like the comms, like the communications, and like you can also black out the entire city, which is one of my favorite abilities to do. With Watch Dogs 2, they added a lot more stuff to a lot more hacking skills and details. So like now you have like a fucking drone you can fly around and use for stuff. You have a little robot you pull out of your backpack. You'll see it right here in the gameplay where you can like go through like holes in the wall and fences and go through like drains and ventilation systems. Really cool shit, man. Like little small stuff like that. But you also have the ability to hack like pretty much everything now. So like there'll be like forklifts, like you unlock an ability to hack like forklifts and shit, and you'll go into it and you actually be able to drive the forklift around, and you can move it to a certain point where you can't reach. Then you get out of the forklift hacking, run over there with your character, get on like the arms or whatever the front of the forklift, and then hack it again and raise yourself up to places you couldn't have reached before. That's something cool that they didn't have in the first Watch Dogs. We mentioned the capability of unlocking abilities, and that's, again, a big difference from these games that are really kind of similar, but you actually have the ability to level up in Watch Dogs, and with that, you get a skill point. You can also do certain missions, side missions, whatever, that'll give you skill points as a reward and shit like that. So you have the ability to earn skill points and level up and unlock abilities, which is something of course, being a Fallout Bethesda channel, we love RPGs here and leveling and progression and shit like that. So having that in an open-world Grand Theft Auto-esque game is something I really, really enjoy. Something else that really sets Watch Dogs apart from Grand Theft Auto is there's actually a looting system. Now, the Grand Theft Auto series has had the ability to kill people and pedestrians and loot their money from them. That's been a thing for a while, so they have that. You don't have that with Watch Dogs. You have the ability to kill people and get their ammo and shit from them, but you have the ability to hack them to get their money, so you don't need to kill them and then magically drop money. But there's actually a looting system. You can find items all around the world that you need for crafting and shit. You can find like electronic parts, chemicals, and all that shit. To craft, like, with Watch Dogs 1, you could craft, like, frag grenades, IEDs, you could craft, like, healing stuff, and, like, shit that increase your focus, which was something you could do with slow-mo and shit like that with Watch Dogs 1. And you also have the ability, whenever you loot a car, or you break into a new car, you'll loot something from the glove compartment, and you can take it to a pawn shop and sell it, like, for money. So, like, you have that level of realism in the game. It's pretty cool. You find stuff in people's cars. Something I like about the Watch Dogs series that I wasn't a big fan of that they changed with Grand Theft Auto 5 was that Watch Dogs seems to focus more on the city. And GTA 5, while the city of Los Santos is definitely good, though if you look at the map, there's so much more than just the city. It doesn't feel like a to-scale version of Los Angeles. It's definitely large, and it's definitely nice for a game that started out on 360 and PS3. But it seems like, to me, the cities are a lot bigger with even with Watch Dogs 1, it felt like Chicago was a lot bigger than Los Santos. And from the little bit I've played of Watch Dogs 2, the damn San Francisco map is pretty damn nice too. They both, Watch Dogs and Watch Dogs 2, do offer like countryside and like shit that's not actually just city. But to me, the city feels more vibrant. It kind of reminds me more of like a GTA 4, where I like GTA 4's city versus GTA 5's city. Now, as we said previously, the GTA 5 city and map is more alive than Watch Dogs, of course, because it's meant to be that type of game. You have all the little activities you can do. You have, birds flying around. You have wildlife. You have mini games. You have, races and shit you can do. You have NPCs you can call up and you hang out with your NPC friends and do activities and stuff. So it's meant to be more that type of game, whereas Watch Dogs isn't meant to be that. But in the future, I think a couple years down the road, 1 or 2 years, when Watch Dogs 3 comes out, if not, 3 years down the road, and they improved upon the series. They added, because with the jump from Watch Dogs to Watch Dogs 2 is very noticeable. There's a lot more to do in the world. There's a lot more things. You can just drive around the map and see like little locations you can go to fight bad guys and get some money from it or whatever you want to do to earn some experience. You can do that. They didn't have that as much or even at all, if I remember, with Watch Dogs 1. With Watch Dogs 2, you have a lot more activities around the map to do. So with Watch Dogs 3, they can improve upon that, make the world a little bit bigger, a little more to scale if you can, add in like some wildlife or whatever, add in some mini games and stuff to do. They have online capabilities. They could these worlds, these maps, like especially Watch Dogs 2, the map is big enough that they could have a GTA online type of thing. I don't know if they have that. They have online stuff you can do, online races, and you can like jump up into other people's games and kind of fuck with them like you can in Dark Souls. I haven't done it with Watch Dogs 2, but with the first Watch Dogs, you can actually jump into the game, you can hack somebody and try to rob them of money, and then there's kind of like a mini game they got to do. They got to try to find you. It'll give them on the map an area of your location, and you kind of blend in. You don't stand out with the pedestrians, so that you can like hide behind a wall or whatever, and they got to try to find you. That was really, really fun. But the world is big enough that they could add in a GTA Online thing. Just have fucking free roam. Have like a 16 to 32 player lobby, whatever you want to do. Because GTA originally was 16 in the next gen console, they upped it to like 32. But like having however many players you want and just have free roam, just have the ability to go around killing each other and whatever, and then they could add in like the mini games and stuff, and this could evolve into something that is better than Grand Theft Auto. Ubisoft isn't the greatest, publisher out there, but I think if they actually took the time, maybe, don't make one really, really soon. Don't make this like an annual fucking thing like they do with most of their games and series. Do like a couple years on a project. Do like, several years on a Watch Dogs 3. Make it as much as they can like a Grand Theft Auto, and I think it could actually compete, man, because there's a lot of GTA clones, a lot of games like that, but this one is the first one that I've played in a long time that actually feels like a competitor. Like it could take over the GTA series. It's not likely, I'm not saying it is, but I really enjoyed playing Watch Dogs and Watch Dogs 2, and I think if you haven't checked it out yet, it's definitely worth you checking out. It was kind of long-winded, guys. The video wasn't meant to be this long, but as I kept going, there's more and more points I wanted to make. And I think, side-by-side comparison, yeah, GTA is currently better than Watch Dogs, but we're only 2 games into this series, whereas GTA has had several years to improve. So I think, somewhere down the line, man, I can see this being an actual rival to the GTA series, as long as Ubisoft continues progressing it and making the game offer more and more content, and eventually have some kind of GTA. If you're going to build these big-ass worlds like this that are very alive, you got to have some kind of free roam in GTA Online type of thing. They don't have to commit to it and make it their main focus like Rockstar has with GTA 5, but I could see them definitely improving and being as good as Grand Theft Auto. Anyways, guys, if you went on to enjoy the video, if you kind of agree with me, if you don't, whatever, let me know with the dislikes and the likes. Subscribe to my channel if you guys are new. Follow me on Twitter. Links to my social networks are in the description and in the outro. Later, guys.
Till it comes to conclusions, all the things that we thought we were losing. I'm a ghost and you know this. That's why we broke up in the first place. 'Cause I want you to know that